the DJI Osmo Action 4 against the GoPro Hero 12. For the next year, these are the two best options if you're looking for a new action camera. And for the first time, these cost the exact same amount, a starting price of $399, and then each camera has its own set of accessories you can buy along with it. So I'll go ahead and leave the Amazon link for both below the video. The general form factor is the same. Rugged, rectangular cameras that are fairly equal in terms of durability. They have a tough, rubbery plastic construction, waterproof, feature a rear and front display, and have replaceable lenses in the case they get damaged. And speaking of lenses, the GoPro has an optional ultra-wide-angle lens that increases the FOV to 177 degrees. So if you want the absolute widest field of view, that might be a good selling point for the GoPro. But keep in mind that is not included and it costs an additional $100. Without this, the DJI actually has the wider field of view at 11mm versus 12 on the GoPro. And GoPro also makes a big deal out of the 8:7 aspect ratio. DJI offers a more standard 4:3, and this is what they look like side by side. In terms of battery life, they both have an advertised record time of 2.5 hours at 1080p. I did my own test at 4K 30 FPS with regular stabilization and got 1 hour 15 minutes on each before the battery died. I do want to note that neither camera overheated in a room that was 65 degrees, although both cameras were pretty warm by the end of this. And the raw capacity of the battery on the Action 4 is slightly bigger at 1,770 mAh versus 1,720 on the GoPro. Regarding the camera itself, GoPro can record higher resolution, but DJI has a much larger image sensor, which directly correlates to image quality. So GoPro can do 5.3K 60 on a small 1/1.9 inch image sensor, and DJI goes up to 4K 120 on a much larger 1/1.3 inch image sensor. This difference in sensor size will have the biggest impact in low lighting conditions. Okay, the sun set 5 minutes ago, so we're going to do a low light test beginning with the Action 4. Settings are 4K 30 with stabilization in the ultra wide. Let's do this. Let's do the GoPro. Okay, GoPro. Aside from the resolution, they both have 10-bit color, high dynamic range, and crazy good electronic image stabilization, rocksteady on DJI and hypersmooth on GoPro. The way that you mount these cameras is also different. GoPro has the classic action camera mount with a 1/4 inch tripod thread, so it has two different mounts. I like that versatility. However, the standard action camera mount, in my opinion, is not very good. It simply takes way too long to mount and dismount the camera. Just to demonstrate, we're gonna do this in real time. Fold out the fingers. You have to line it up. This part's kind of annoying as well. Then you have to screw it in place. Line it up properly. And make it nice and tight. Then to remove the camera, you gotta do the whole thing in reverse. Kind of a hassle. And perhaps this is why a couple of years ago, DJI introduced a new, much faster magnetic mounting system. This allows you to attach the camera in less than a second, while still giving you tons of security due to the clips on the side. Now with the mounting system on the Action 4, it is extremely fast. So even though GoPro offers two different mounting types, I think DJI still has a better solution here. Another difference is the displays. So even though they both have a rear and front facing display, only on the DJI is the front facing display a touchscreen, which allows you to go into the settings and manipulate the camera in a way that you cannot on the GoPro. So just like with the magnetic mounting system, this just adds to the usability of the Action 4 in comparison to the GoPro. Now when it comes to audio, they both have built-in microphones that sound decent. This is what the built-in microphone on the Action 4 sounds like in essentially ideal conditions. Raw test of the built-in microphones on the GoPro Hero 12. This is what it sounds like. Ideal conditions. But with the Action 4, you can directly connect an external microphone using the USB-C port. This is an audio test using an external microphone with the DJI Action 4. In particular, I'm using the Rode Wireless Me. The GoPro is more complicated when it comes to external audio. They still, in 2023, do not allow you to directly connect an external mic directly to the USB port on the GoPro. Rather, you need to purchase the Media Mod, which costs an additional $80. You can then plug in external mics to this adapter. Now, they did introduce a new feature that allows you to connect Bluetooth earbuds to the GoPro and use that microphone instead. And now I have my Sony Bluetooth earbuds connected to the GoPro, and we're using this audio. I do not think this is a substitute to an actual external microphone, but you guys can be the judge. Alright, we're going to finish off this video in vlog style, beginning with the GoPro. I am using a small tripod as a handle to give me a little bit more reach, and the FOV is in linear. So yeah, this is the image. Pretty good test of dynamic range. We have a bright sky. There's also like a roof here, so if I go into the roof, the lighting conditions kind of go all over the place. And we're in 4K 30 with hyper smooth, the regular electronic image stabilization. Looks pretty good. And for comparison, this is the Action 4 now. Same conditions, we can test out the dynamic range. Very similar settings, 4K 30, everything automatic with the standard field of view. Now these two cameras, the DJI Action 4 and the GoPro Hero 12, have way more in common than they have any differences. So things like the build quality, the size, the durability, even battery life as we saw, and things like the stabilization. None of that is a determining factor between these cameras because they're so evenly matched. But where these cameras have more of a meaningful difference begins with the resolution. The GoPro does have that unique 5.3K. Personally, I don't find that to be any better than 4K. In fact, most of the time I film in 2.7K just because of the file sizes. But if you do a lot of like digital zooming, the higher resolution might be better for that. Just remember that the Action 4 has the significantly bigger sensor between the two, and that allows the camera to capture more light. And as we saw in my low light comparison, I think the footage was a lot more crispy and less blurry with the Action 4. So really when it comes down to it, you have to decide which image you personally like the most, as well as remember the other small differentiating features, like the magnetic mounting system, the front touchscreen on the Action 4, and the compatibility with external microphones. But with all that said, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, subscribe, greatly appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next one.